When I'm thinking about what to say about Rabbeinu Yosef Chaim, I remember the pasuk that we're all going to say very soon in the prayers of the Yamim HaNoraim of the high holidays, when we're talking about our sins. So we say, V'im avo leva'aram ulvareram, if I will have to count and to point each and every one, Yichle hazman vehem lo yichlu. The time is going to be over, but they are not going to be over. So something like that. Of course, we're not talking about averot has v'shalom, the opposite, about the tremendous, powerful character and influence of Rabbeinu Yosef Chaim, Sar HaTorah, Rav de Rabbanan, Reish Galuta, who has spread the Torah, his Torah, in the whole entire world. What can I say? But I would like to point one thing. It says about HaKadosh Baruch Hu, במקום שבו אתה מוצא את גדלותו, שם אתה מוצא את ענוותנותו. In the place that you see the greatness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Borei Olam Almighty, this is where you find also His modesty. And maybe if I may say, when you think about the greatness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Borei Olam, she'akol mimeno, this whole world that we don't have a clue, we don't have a real understanding of what it means, Borei Olam, and His greatness. We can't even say it in our mouth. We can't even try to understand it, to comprehend His whole greatness. When we think about it, and we see Anvetanuto of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, how much HaKadosh Baruch Hu is anav, it reflects back on His greatness. And then in our eyes, He becomes much greater. And this is also very similar to Rabbeinu Yosef Chaim. Zechutho yagen alenu. You know, I'm holding now in my hand the book of Sefer Torah Lishma, a real jewel. One of the top, the most important books of Rabbeinu Yosef Chaim, She'elot v'tshuvot, in all parts of Torah and Halakha, Musar, every single thing has in this book. And in the Hakdama that Rabbeinu Yosef Chaim writes to his book, he says, he asks HaKadosh Baruch Hu to help him to say everything L'Shem Shamayim, and then he writes down in the end and he signs his name, Rahamim Kahli. This is what he signs over here, which is of course not his name. He was hiding his name. He didn't want people to know that this is him who wrote this book. Yehezkel Kahli. This is what he wrote over there. And his student, Rabbeinu Ben Zion Hazan, says a story about the Gaon Rabbeinu Avraham Ades, who wrote him a letter about this book. And in the letter, he asked him many, many questions in Halakha. And in the end, one question, which is, maybe Rabbeinu, you have a clue who wrote this book? And Rabbeinu Yosef Chaim wrote him a very long answer for each question that he asked. And he didn't answer anything for the last one. This is how anav, this is how special was Rabbeinu Yosef Chaim. Another story is about the fact that Rabbeinu Yosef Chaim, in all of his writings and books that he wrote, he had a minhag to give it to the rabbis and the students of the yeshiva for free. He was just giving his books for free for everyone who wanted it. That was his minhag. One of the rabbis that he gave him the book, Rabbi Hezkel Ezra Rahamim, after a few weeks of learning the books, he came to him and he said to him, Hacham, I want to tell you something. You know, in the Ben Ish Hai, in your book, you wrote over there, the parasha so-and-so, and perek so-and-so, a halakha. Do you know, Rabbi, I found 4 different rabbis, tzaddikim, who are writing against you. So maybe you want to reconsider. Rabbi Yosef Chaim told him, yes, you're right, I know that. And then he quoted to him 30 different hachamim who are agreeing with his psak halakha. He gave him many, many proofs of his psak halakha. This is the greatness of Rabbeinu Yosef Chaim, but yet he gave his book free for everyone. Why? Because he wanted to tell us, I feel that nothing belongs to me. I have a tremendous emunah in Borei Olam that everything that I have is from him. It is not about my name. It is not about my knowledge. It is all gifts from Borei Olam. This was the kind of emunah of Rabbeinu Yosef Chaim, and this is really the root of emunah of a Jew. We all believe in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We all believe that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world, but deeper than that is the belief that Ki mimecha hakol umiyadecha natanu lach. If you are rich and you have money, it's not yours. It is something that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave you as a gift. If you have power, if you have strength, if you are brave, it's not your strength. It comes from Borei Olam. If you are smart, knowledgeable, Talmid Hakam, it's not yours. It belongs to Borei Olam. You know, Kahal Kadosh, the roots of our nation goes back to Babylon. It was in Eretz Shinar in Aram Naharaim where Avraham Avinu was born and where he found Borei Olam, looking outside in the beautiful world that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has created and seeing HaKadosh Baruch Hu in every step of the way, knowing that everything belongs to Borei Olam, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to one powerful thing. This was Avraham Avinu. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu told him, Hithalech lefanai veheye tamim, Avraham Avinu, I love you because of this temimut, simple emunah of yours, that you understand that everything comes from Borei Olam, from Shamayim. And maybe this is the explanation of the Midrash that Chachamim Zichrono Livracha are telling us about Avraham Avinu alav Shalom. He used to host people in his house and used to give them to eat and food and shelter and everything and to drink. And then in the end, they turned to him and they thanked him. Toda Rabbah, Hazak u'Baruch, Avraham Avinu. And he turned to Shamayim and he said, not to me you have to thank Borei Olam. Maybe Chachamim, by telling us all the details of this Midrash, are trying to tell us and to teach us that the source of the Emunah Tmimah of Avraham Avinu was that Be'emet nothing belongs to him. Hakol comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, from Borei Olam. This is how he was teaching other people in the world. Don't thank me. It's not me, it's not my food, it's not my stuff. It all belongs to Borei Olam Almighty. Gvirotai v'rabotai, we are living in a very, very confused and complicated generation. There is a very big crisis of identity in this generation. We're facing many, many spiritual difficulties and challenges in this generation. Students came to Rav Steinman and they asked him, Rabbi, you are Gdol Hador. Tell us, please, in this very difficult generation, what is the mitzvah that we have to follow more than anything else? What is the most important mitzvah that we have to hold? He said to them, Emunah. Mitzvah emunah. Emunah? We all believe in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We all believe in God. What does it mean, emunah? Emunah has many, many levels. We should not think that it's in our pocket. Emunah is also, just like we said before, to know and to believe that everything that comes out of you, every word that you say, everything that you do, the power to do it comes from Borei Olam. Kerum zulut livnei adam, says the pasuk in the Gemara, says in Masechet Berachot, those are things she'omdim berumo shel olam, unbelievable things in the world that are foundational. Shebnei adam mezalzelim bahem, people neglect them. They think that they have them in their pocket. And the example that the Gemara brings is about tefillah. How much tefillah is important. One of the foundations of the world, Shelosha davrim ha'olam omed al Torah, al avodah, avodat hakorbanot, and tefillah. And people pray like reading a book. Kerum zulut livnei adam is also emunah. V'tzadik be'emunato yihyeh kam ba Havakuk ve'emidan al ahat, on one foundation. V'tzadik be'emunato yihyeh. This is the mitzvah of our generation. And that was Rabbeinu Yosef Chaim. Rabbeinu Yosef Chaim, it's famous that Rabbotenu are telling us that he was nitzotz of Yosef HaTzadik. Rabbi Yosef Chaim was the source of Nishmat Yosef HaTzadik. By Yosef HaTzadik, when he was in the point of going up and becoming an unbelievable great leader in the world, when he was able to explain the dreams of Paro, Paro came to him and he said to him, wow. He called him Tzafenat Pa'aneach, and he said to him, no one in this kingdom is going to move to the right or the left unless you say so. You are Rak HaKiseh Egdal Mimeka. Rak HaKiseh. You are the greatest. How did you do it? ואני שמעתי עליך לשמוע חלום נפתור אותו. There's no dream in the world that you cannot explain. What did Yosef HaTzadik say to him? בלעדיי. It's not me. האלוקים יענה את שלום פרעה. I'm not powerful, I'm nothing. My power comes from Borei Olam completely. Rabbi Yosef Chaim Nitzotz of Yosef HaTzadik. This is what Rabbeinu was. You know, a few months ago there was a visit of Mr. Modi. He was the Prime Minister of India. He came to visit in Israel. And he spoke with the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu. It was an unbelievable visit, hugs and explanations and many, many contracts that were signed and cooperation with India and Israel. Unbelievable. So one of the Israelis, the reporters, of course always they have this attitude to say things against ourselves. Unfortunately, he came to him and he said to him, Mr. Modi, please, Mr. Prime Minister, can you explain to me, you are the head of such an unbelievable, maybe the second economy, biggest economy in the world, 1.5 billion, something like this, billion people. What are you doing here in Israel? Well, you come to here, you have you have China, America, I don't know what. You come to here to Israel. And Mr. Modi told him like this, listen, he said to him, to the reporter, the Israeli reporter, he said to him, you know, in the jungle, you have many different animals. You have the elephants, then you have the monkeys, and you have this animal and that animal, many, many different animals. And each one has his strengths and whatever. And then you have the lion. You have all the animals and you have the lion. And then he said to him, you, the Israelis, you, the Jews, are the lion of the world. This is how powerful you are. So don't ask me why I come here to get help, because you are powerful. That's what he told him. Mr. Modi did not know that this is really what it says in the Torah, right? בתורה שלנו כתוב, כארי יתנשא, הנעם כלביא יקום, וכארי יתנשא, etc. Am Israel could rise back even after all the difficulties and the exiles, rise back like a lion and lead the world, of course, who are very strong. But is it our power? Where did it come from, this power? From Netanyahu? From the Jewish genius or whatever power that we have? Where did it come from? It came from Borei Olam. And this is the point that we should not forget. I want to tell you, I just came back from Eretz Israel, one more point. And I had the big zechut to see Rabbi Shmuel Eliyahu, the son of the Tzaddik HaKadosh, Rabbi Mordechai Eliyahu, Zecher Tzaddik v'Kadosh Livracha. And we spent some time with him. And he told me the following story. You have to hear this. He told me that one day he had a visit, a very interesting visit of around approximately 50 sheikhs. Sheikh, you know what sheikh? Sheikh is like the hacham of the Muslims, right? 50 sheikhs came to his house. You know, Rabbi Shmuel Eliyahu is very famous in his strictness in some issues that has to do in Eretz Israel, to hold the land in our hands, and to very, very, very strongly speaking about this kind of stuff. So they came to him maybe to understand his opinion, maybe to have a dialogue with him. 50 sheikhs. I wouldn't do that, you know. I would be afraid to have 50 sheikhs in my house. I don't know what, but he did it in his house in Tzfat. They had the Rav Rashi of Tzfat. He had them. And they started to talk. And then at a certain point, he was asking them the following question. He said to them, you know that we had many wars, unfortunately, in the last 70 years between me and you, between us and you, the Jewish people and the Arabs. They said, yes, of course. And he said to them, you know, we won all the wars against you. They said, yes. Even those wars that you have started against us and you have surprised us, we won against you. He said, yeah, we know. And then he said to them, who did you think do it? Why did we win against you? Who did it? You know what they said? They said, God. It's because of God. He did it. And then he said to them, do you think God is going to stop now? Do you think he's going to stop supporting us? What do you think? They didn't answer. He said, you want to walk and to do and to fight against God, Borei Olam? Don't you understand that he making a point? Don't you understand that he brought us back to Eretz Israel to stay here? Don't you understand that he wants us to survive? They didn't say anything. Just in the end of the meeting, they asked him maybe to have classes with him. And they said, especially Kabbalah, we want you to speak. He said, I'm not sure I'm going to have time for this. I'm not sure I'm going to have time for that, but we'll talk about it later. So, the lesson that we take from here, from these stories, and from the character of Rabbi Yosef Hayim that we started, is to understand that was the emunah of Avraham Avinu. Emunah that everything belongs to Borei Olam and he is the one who gives us the power to do everything in our life. That was the emunah and that was the greatness of Rabbi Yosef Hayim. That with all of his greatness and Torah and knowledge, he knew that akol be'etak borei yitbarach. And this is the avodah and the work of this generation that we have. The avodah is to act and to do everything that we do out of this emunah that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one who is giving us the strength to do anything. The emunah that on one hand, HaKadosh Baruch Hu put in us an unbelievable power in each and every one of us, and He's waiting for us to execute it in the right way. Legulat Israel. The emunah that we have, that we indeed Am Segula, that we're a special nation, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants us to do something for Him. The emunah, the most important emunah on the other hand, of V'yadata ki Hashem Elokecha hu hanoten lecha koach lasot hayil. Hashem is the one who is giving us the strength in every step that you take in your life. Remember that. Involved Shem Shamayim, involved Mahshava of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu to help you and to give us all the strength, Bezrat Hashem, to change ourselves, to do teshuvah, and Bezrat Hashem, to get ready and to prepare ourselves and to influence others, Bezrat Hashem, towards the Geulah Shlema B'mera B'Yamenu, Amen ve'Amen.